This report, Ukraine's protest movement, Euromaidan, as it's known, is soldiering on. But with President Viktor Yanukovych unwilling to make any concessions, things appear to have reached a kind of stalemate. Since 11 December, the police have made no attempt to clear Independence Square, where opponents of the government are still camped out. But that's not to say there has been no violence. In Kiev, but especially in other cities further from the media spotlight, there have been dozens of attacks on individuals linked to the protest movement, some of them well known. The authorities deny any involvement, but campaigners say they're failing to investigate these crimes. Gulliver Cragg has more.
Medics bandaged the leg of Dmytro Pilipets, one of the leaders of anti-government protests in Kharkiv. He was stabbed several times on December the 24th, right here.
When I saw the attackers, I ran into this road right away with the idea of stopping a car. They attacked me right here. There was a scuffle, and then one car stopped and rescued me.
The incident happened right outside the offices of the Kharkiv Human Rights Protection Group, a meeting point for activists. The protest movement in this Russian-speaking eastern city is far smaller than in Kiev, but appears to be a priority target for someone. In addition to the attack on Dmytro, 4 activists' cars were torched and a generator stolen.
Rather than the authorities here, I think our northern neighbor Russia may be behind this. Someone there is afraid that if the spirit of protest spreads in Kharkiv, then it might cross the border and people there might rise up.
Really, it would be in President Yanukovych's interests to investigate these crimes and put a stop to them. I don't understand why he hasn't done that.
Protesters say they are not intimidated by the crimes, but strengthened in their determination to oust what they see as an abusive regime. The abuses, whoever is responsible, are widespread. The Kharkiv team have compiled a nationwide database.
Since the beginning of December, there have been nearly 100 physical attacks on pro-European activists or destruction of their property. Not one has been effectively investigated.
Victims include opposition MP Andriy Ilyenko and, in the single worst incident, Tetiana Chornovil, a campaigning journalist, severely beaten on December the 25th. Now recovering in hospital, she says she is convinced that Viktor Yanukovych ordered the attack. Protesters are still angry.
It's just awful what they did. They think they can get away with beating a woman?
Who's to blame? The regime. The regime had her beaten.
Chornovil is famous in Ukraine for her exposés of government figures' alleged lavish lifestyles. But Mikhailo Chechetov, a ruling party MP, says he lives modestly in this Kiev suburb and that the attacks have nothing to do with the government.
There's nothing political about burning cars. That's just hooliganism. And only 3 were burnt here compared to 1,000 in France. As for Tetiana Chornovil, my guess is it was neo-Nazis who beat her up because of what she wrote about them.
While crimes against activists remain unsolved, activists themselves are feeling the force of the law.
Parliament adopted an amnesty law which says that all detained people should be released as soon as possible, but in fact they are not. They are still in jail.
Despite the amnesty law, dozens of activists are under investigation and at least 5 are in jail without charge. Euromaidan, the motorized branch of the protest movement, heads out to picket a police station over this situation.
Stop your vehicle if the police asks you to do so. Let them do what they want. We're not breaking any traffic rules and everything we do is legal.
Before long, though, the police make it clear they disagree and confiscate one of the cars.